The man who was shot in the arm cried out for help in this area that leads to the playground for children. Friends and family of the 18-year-old are already posting on her Facebook page. Get out the water hose or your buckets. 5 of these covers have been stolen from homes here in the past week. Easily, you can pick one of these up, walk away, and toss it in the back seat of your vehicle. You assaulted an officer. Why?
Knock, knock.
I'm standing on what was once called the shelter house. Breaking news we begin with is coming out of Shelby County, where witnesses told police they heard multiple shots fired. Metro police are looking for a driver who lost control of his Jeep and slammed into a house. 12 inches, that's where my tape measure is marked right now. And the city says 12 inches is how tall grass must be before they send someone to cut it. This 8-year-old was hit in the head with a sledgehammer. Drenae Montgomery says she called 911 for help, but before anyone asked,
911, where's your emergency?
Did nobody answer? It just said your call is very important. Please stay on hold.
She's not alone. Turns out this is the recording heard more often than you would think.
You have reached 911 emergency dispatch. Do not hang up. If in danger, lay down the phone and go to safety.
It's an emergency. You're supposed to answer the first call, the first ring.
We took her concerns to the Marion County Sheriff's Department, the agency in charge of handling 911 calls in the county.
There's 27 phone lines that come into the building. So if you're caller number 29, you're going to be in hold mode, if you will, until an operator is freed up.
But is it acceptable to put someone on hold?
Truly on hold? No. What they're waiting for is a call taker to be available. We can't always schedule and budget for a major incident. We have no idea when they're going to happen. We feel that we have an acceptable limit because we do answer the phone in most times in seconds. 911 records show Montgomery was in what's called setup mode over a minute. It took 61 seconds for an operator to answer. Colonel Dine says if this happens to you, don't hang up. If you do, you will go back to the end of the line. That day, 10 people called reporting the sledgehammer incident. Montgomery was the 9th caller. In this case, help was already on the way. But the fear that won't always happen is a tough pill for this taxpayer to swallow.
It's ridiculous. I don't understand, how could you be on hold when it's an emergency? It's 911.
It was her first time behind the wheel of a go-kart. It was also the start of a painful journey for Shelby Crouch.
The last thing I remember is being in the go-kart, holding onto the steering wheel, and that's it. I don't remember ever driving.
Crouch's long locks got gripped in the spinning axle at Whiteland Raceway. 80% of her scalp was ripped from her head. The brutal force of it left her with a traumatic brain injury, hearing loss, and a skull fracture.
This is my collection of bandanas.
Now, she wears a bandana to cover her bald head.
There are still days where I get down. There's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't look at myself in the mirror when I'm brushing my teeth or anything like that, and I just have glimpses of what I used to look like, and yearn for that back.
Days after Shelby's accident, an IT-made investigation uncovered industry standards established in 2000 state that all rotating or heated parts of recreational go-karts should be covered. But the axles at Whiteland were exposed, and while industry standards exist, the state has no law that enforces them. Now, Shelby and her mom will push lawmakers for change.
Why is it our state that doesn't have such laws? It's just the duty of the state to make sure that each one of their citizens is safe while having fun.
I don't want another mother to ever have to go through this, and I don't want another person to have to go through what Shelby's been through.
When we first started stringing them around the wall,
Shelby hasn't been alone. Above her bed, get well cards from friends, family, and strangers form a cross. Still, she has tough days.
They're few and far between. They're getting there, at least.
She credits her faith in helping her get through those tough times. And it's why she's talking now, 9 months after her accident, about what happened.
People coming to me and saying, Shelby, you're an inspiration. Your story is an inspiration. Because I try not let that go to my head. I give all the glory to God. Without him, I wouldn't be here.
Hi there, Debbie. I've been camped out at this intersection for the past hour, and the light, which is still red now, has turned green 4 times. Granted, when we're driving, we expect delays and getting stopped at traffic lights like this one, but some say, should you have to wait 10 to 22 minutes? This driver just broke the law.
Some people turn left on red right here at the intersection here. You don't know if the light's going to change or not. I mean, you could be out here for an hour.
Ronnie Bonds and his friend Judy say what we caught on camera, this driver turning left on red, happens all the time. The light was red when I got here, so I started timing the wait and continued my conversation with the Fountain Square residents.
And they get so impatient that they go through the light, which could be dangerous.
Look what happened. After 22 minutes, finally the light changed. It stayed green just 10 seconds, but you'll notice no car or pedestrian approached the light.
It's done this since they put the sensor thing in the street.
Those sensors are hidden under the asphalt. These two say they were installed last year when the city resurfaced Laurel. To activate the sensors, some drivers tap dance.
Stopping here and backing up and then coming back forward, then the light would change.
And if they don't do that,
they just run it.
And Judy Lear is afraid one day
a child getting hit because we are close to the school.
And after I talked to the Fountain Square residents earlier today, the city sent out inspectors. Their report didn't find any problems. Now, city officials say the light is set up to remain green for travelers here on English Avenue. Now, once a vehicle approaches the light here on Laurel, or if a pedestrian presses the button on the crosswalk, the light should change accordingly. Eric?